Welcome to the Queer Movie Podcast, celebrating the best
and worst
in LGBTQ plus cinema, one glorious genre at a time.
I'm Rowan Ellis.
And I'm Jazza John.
Each episode we discuss a movie from a different genre of cinema.
This episode genre is
Queer Adult Animation.
Today we're going to be talking about the Australian, lesbian, sci-fi, space romp, Lesbian Space Princess.
Before we honk if you're horny, not your best work, but I'll take it. Jazza, what's the gayest thing you've done since the last episode?
You have had a live insight into this, Rowan Ellis. Over Christmas, I watched the first 6 episodes of Heated Rivalry. And I don't like
hated it.
I didn't like it so much that I was just shouting exacerbated at the immature decisions that these grown-ass men are making about their lives. And the mediocre, honestly, sex scenes that everybody seems to be losing their rag over. I'm like, guys, as if you haven't had 20 years of Sean Cody. That is perfectly good.
Your take basically was like, just watch porn, was what I was.
Just watch porn. Like they more emotionally mature, aren't they?
I suggested to Jazza. So Jazza hadn't watched any of it. I was like, maybe we should do a special episode about this show. I did not realize how much Jazza was going to dislike this show because I thought it was just going to be like a fun thing that we did. I was like, maybe Jazza's even beginning to watch it already. And it became very apparent, like, that was a bad idea. So I was like, okay, let's do that. Not thinking that Jazza would then watch every single episode of the show.
Well, it was Christmas Day and we kind of ran out of things to do. and so we were like, let's binge the whole thing. They're only like 40 minutes long, each of the episodes. And we hated it. We thought, but then I will say it got to episode 5 and I did cry 2 times.
Very on brand.
And then I did also cry at episode 6. And I am continuing to watch the episodes as they come out. But I would like the jury to know that despite my behaviour, I do still hate this show and these characters.
Yeah. Well, it's
and
done now, Jazzy.
I don't
you don't
get
have
it.
to watch anymore. It's done.
Is that it? Was
it's
episode 6 the last one? What?
They've been
make sense as an
renewed.
ending.
They've been renewed for another season. But that you don't have to watch.
No, but I think I do now. This is really annoying.
Maybe this is mine, except the opposite. I really liked it, but
shocked.
I've just read so
Rowan
much. I've been watching so much
written for YA women.
Wow, there's not that. I'm gonna say right now.
I'm gonna be gay and toxic as fuck in this.
The sex scenes are very un-YA. I'm just very deep now into the fan fiction, to be honest.
Let's not open the can of boy love romance. On the Discord, all of the kids have been educating each other on.
That's what a seamless segue and plug for the Patreon. Hey, if you want to get onto our boy love Discord,
boy love romances,
get on the Discord. Do you know what else you can do? If you get on the Discord, I was going to say that I'd show you right now, but I can't because I'm filming on my phone, so I can't show you, even though this is now a video podcast. I can't show you this video, but my gayest thing was I went bouldering this morning after my injury. I've recovered enough to go bouldering, and I'm trying to do this 100 rejections thing, where you basically try and get rejected by people 100 times over the course of the year. And with the idea that, like, you're not trying to actually get rejected, you're trying to get successes or nice interactions with people. But by kind of like framing it as you want to get rejected, you kind of win either way. And I asked this random mum, I guess, who was there. It was so busy and everyone else was a really cool bouldering bro, but from this one random mum and her friend. And I was like, hi, could you take a video of me bouldering? Because my brother boulders and I only ever go with him and I don't think I'm very good at it and don't really understand it. And I worry that I'm doing it wrong. Can you just take a video? Because I want to send it to him and see what he says about my technique. And she was like, sure. And so what ended up happening was she took this video and then just started, was literally to the video and was like, easy work. And And then her and her friends started clapping and cheering for me like a Tumblr post of something that never happened. And if you want to see a video of that climb and these two random middle-aged women hyping me up, check out the Discord. I'm going to post it there after this recording.
Can I just
gotta check out the Discord.
I think I also hate bouldering. And I think I hate
What is
bouldering.
happening right now? What? How
bouldering.
can you hate bouldering? It's just
Because,
scrambling
one,
upwards.
I'm surprised. Well, problem one, that. Problem two is weird that you put this as your gayest thing, because I think that is specifically. I think bouldering is straight culture. I think it's very,
no
very
way.
straight culture.
Maybe in New York, where you're from.
Well, we have stuff to do in New York, so we don't really go bouldering.
Sure.
But also kind of like, if it's queer at all, it's poly. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's that kind of a vibe.
I think it can be both. That's so wild to me. Do you just like having muscles that don't do anything? Is that your thing?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely. That's the goal. Why would you want anything else?
Don't you want anything else? That's so stupid. Next time I'm in the same place,
and
as you,
also,
I wanna make you
the
scramble
final
with
reason
me.
I hate it.
Okay.
And the final reason I hate it is because of that lovely, wonderful, supportive interaction that you had with
You don't like
that
that?
individual who filmed you, because it makes it feel like a cult.
Yeah, fair enough.
And
you prefer people to be rude, people to be monogamous, and people to be on the ground.
Yeah, and that is
Rude,
what I'm
monogamous,
going to be
on the
running
ground.
on. That's what I'm going to be running on in 2026. That's
the spirit.
As always, we're going to give some background of this movie. We're going to talk about some other like queer animation. Look at my absolute superstar of a dog. This is a dog podcast now, by the way.
Dog
Everyone say
podcast.
hello
Yeah,
to
come on,
Hermes.
cats. Where are you? You need to like
we
countering
need a
this
full...
narrative, countering this canine narrative.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about some of the some animation that is good and gay.
We're also going to spoil this movie, as always, right from the very start. This whole podcast is just one massive spoiler. So if you haven't seen this movie, pause this podcast, go watch the movie. Actually, it is available, and then you come back and then you continue the episode.
As always, we're going to give some background on the movie and talk about some other adult queer animation that tickles our pickle.
We are going to spoil this movie from the very start, as always. So if you haven't watched this movie, pause the podcast, go watch the movie. It is available now. Come back here, listen to our thoughts.
And then finally, we're going to be giving the episode a definitive score using our patent-pending rainbow flag scoring system.
So without further ado, let's say what we think about the sex scene in Blue is the Warmest Colour and watch watch Lesbian Space Princess. So sorry, gang. Jazza just made us redo this. Redo this because they realized that they needed to actually fill in the fun joke, but then left the wrong movie name in there.
I'm gonna murder you.
And watch Lesbian Space Princess.
I don't think that's gonna work, is it?
Yeah. Listen, we've got a crack team of editors, aka Toni. Toni, she can do anything. Toni can seamlessly do that.
Hey Toni, I'm curious. You know what? We're not going to record it again, and I'm just going to see what Toni does. And if Toni just burns the whole thing to the fucking ground.
That's also fair. I'm just triple checking.
What are you checking?
Holy shit! As if she's the main. My God.
Shabana Azeez?
Yes.
What's
Holy
she known
shit! For? She's in the pit. She's in the pit, which does make it seem like she's like in a gay wrestler. What do you mean you haven't seen the pit?
No, it's more straight culture, isn't it?
What
is wrong with you?
Do you watch or love anything, Jazza? What's happening right now? That show is flawless, and she is flawless in it. Hi, if you're listening right now, come be on this podcast. We're looking up guests for 2026.
Shabana Azeez.
Yes.
Who we're asking for.
Honestly, anyone involved in this. Anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Come on the podcast.
So when I think queer animation, the first thing that I go to is Steven Universe.
Yep.
Which is, and also like a load of other, like, it's not just for kids, but it's kid first animation. So stuff like Steven Universe, which is for kids but has queer overtones. Loads of adults watch it and love it. it's stuff like The Legend of Korra.
Yeah.
Which
they got it.
We
right
now
at the
know
end there. They slipped that in.
Well, kinda. Not really though. Not really. That
They
what they
tried,
hold
bless
hands and
them.
step into the spirit
Well,
world.
Legend
Like,
of Korra, the Legend of Korra writers were some of the first writers to come out and talk about the censorship that had gone on within kids' cartoons, where the writers specifically been interested in bringing in queer themes. And so Legend of Korra was one that everyone, it was like the open secret of animation, that these two characters at the end were meant to be kind of literally walking into the sunset together. But they, as far as I remember, were sort of the first team who outright came out and said like, hey, yep, we tried.
We were stopped from doing this.
We fucking tried. But it's been really fast, I think, how quickly we've gone from that kind of censorship to there being more of an acceptance of these queer pieces of animation, especially for young audience. I'm thinking of like Paranormal Park. I don't know what is the name of this, because it's had
Paranormal Park, but like there's other stuff
Dead
like
End, Paranormal Park.
Got it. But there's also stuff like the new Velma cartoon,
Yeah.
as well, where she's canonically queer, finally, and stuff like She-Ra as well.
Yes, of course.
Do we think we peaked there and then we're never going to see a gay cartoon ever again? I mean, obviously we're about to review a movie from Australia that is exactly that, but this feels like a counter to the trend that we're seeing of like loads of LGBTQ media kind of like either being cancelled or not having a future in the current climate that we're in. What's your feeling about your optimism about queer cartoons?
It's not to say that animation is in some way cheaper to produce than other kinds of media. I think that's not like blanket term, doesn't make sense, but I do think that there's a reason why a lot of the queer cartoons that we have been seeing have been speculative in terms of genre, cross genre. So whether they've been sci-fi or fantasy or horror, like there has been this element of a genre which is traditionally within filmed media a lot more expensive to produce. I think this parallels audio dramas quite a lot, where we had, especially within podcasting, the rise and the explosion of narrative podcast was built off the back of queer podcasts, queer independent podcasts. I'm thinking about like Welcome to Night Vale, for example, being like one of the most classics. And the reason why I think that this is the case within audio and within cartoons as well is that it allows for genre stories within like queer genre stories to be produced for budgets that are equivalent to straight up drama or comedy, because it costs no extra money to audio produce something that is speculative, because it's just sound effects, right? Whereas if you were to be doing live action, you would have to, in order for it to be in any kind of way good, have some kind of special effects or these things that are a lot more expensive. And so it's not that cartoons are cheaper to produce by their nature automatically, but they are financially equivalent to other cartoons. Like, it doesn't matter. And so I think that has been a huge thing. It's like a way of storytellers being able to access these kind of genres that otherwise we can't, which I think is really exciting. I think that it is something that is becoming more and more accessible in terms of independent productions, which is also really exciting. And I fear, must come up against cancellations as they come, because that seems like it's kind of across the board, whether it's live action or animated, in any kind of way. I will say that we have had an uptick in adult animation that's queer. I'm thinking about Husband Hotel, which is now Hell of a Boss, the spin-off that was originally on YouTube, is now also on Prime. We've got the Critical Role adaptation. I feel like the taking animation seriously, especially as an adult art form, is something that is gearing up as far as I'm concerned, which is very exciting for me personally.
Yeah, there's all, and that's not even like considering the prevalence of like queer characters in anime as well. And so there's a load of, like, we were literally just talking about heated rivalry, but the boy love genre especially, but also a load of like queer characters throughout Japanese animation have also I don't know enough. There's the ice skating one.
Yuri on Ice.
You know the ice skating
Which
one?
is funny because it's not Yuri, it's Yaoi on Ice. Ha ha ha, just a little bit of a fun anime joke for all you anime watchers out there.
Fun little pun. But I think most of those are very that's been catering to that audience for such a long time, and the West has been really slow in catching up to that and the desires of that audience. And so there's definitely I just googled LGBT animation on Crunchyroll, and Yuri on Ice turned up as the
welcome.
number one.
Absolutely top tier. I will say there's another piece of context that I would love to give for this, which is we knew that we wanted to review this movie because just you've seen the title. It was so obvious.
Yeah, I mean, immediately it's SEO. It's
Sounds
SEO
beautiful.
gold. I watched it at Newsfest originally, which is how I found it. It was being shown as part of a film festival here, and then I was like, we have to, we
must do it. So we were like, we got to find it. I wonder where it's online. Is it online? Whatever. And Jazza's like, oh yeah, I found it. They've put it onto Vimeo, and I was like, great, because there's a lot of smaller independent productions who will put stuff on Vimeo so that people can watch it. It's just that's where they don't necessarily have distribution. They just say, hey, you can see it. So we started watching it. I got about halfway through, and then it seemed to disappear off Vimeo. And I was like, oh man, maybe they're going to film festivals. I didn't know anything about the history of the production of this movie. I was like, sometimes you take it down or do it unlisted and put it on Vimeo so that it can just act as a screener for film festival entry and things like that. Or maybe they've got distribution. How exciting for them. So I reached out to to the team, and it became very quickly apparent that they had never put it on Vimeo, and that this was fully just a sort of accidental piracy situation where there was a company they were working with to do ADR. Something had happened, and so this wasn't meant to happen. And I'm so glad I clarified with them, because I read back my message, and it did make it sound like I was like, hey man,
I've been trying to pirate your movie.
It's really hard. Can you give us access to it? But because I can't get access to the streaming version of it, because obviously then I just paid to see the streaming version in the UK at the time. So I was like, I'm so glad I clarified this, because it made me seem like the biggest arsehole in the world to just message them and be like, so sorry, the pirated copy of your movie isn't online anymore. So very happy that we now managed to get a secret sweet little review a screener for it, because spoiler alert, fucking love this film. Yeah, we
adore I adore this film. And thank you to Emma Hobbs and Leela Varghese, who are the joint team writing and directing this movie. Also seem like really a set of really cool lads. So let's hang out when you're next in New York, where I live. Shall we get into the movie?
London, where I live. Yes, let's.
No. I hear London's on the way down. It's not. It's not what it used to be since I left.
Okay, so we split the movie into 3 acts. What did you call Act 1?
I called Act 1 "Sexy Bitch Jumper." Because I feel like that is. The way that this is split out is actually through all of the different kind of interpretations and expressions of Syra, and I found the sexy bitch jumper and the fact that she has 2 of them that she's wearing on top of one another so funny, and so I'm going with sexy bitch jumper, Act 1. How about you?
I'll take it. I think that's good. I'm not gonna lie, forgot to do a title for this one. I got a title later on. I'll give it. I've got a good one for Act 3.
Okay,
will say off.
Don't worry, I've got your back for Act 2.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I will say off the top, if anyone has listened to this podcast before and you've seen this movie, it will be very predictable how we feel about it, because this movie is like the comedy films we've reviewed before that have just stupid little bits constantly.
Stupid little lines thrown
this
out that you will miss, that slap you around the head.
Every single line, every single visual gag, it's constant. It's like you have to really be like, I was like pausing, so I was like, what's going on in the background? What's on this notice board? What's on this person's walls? Because it's so constant. It's so silly. And that's like both of our tastes in comedy, I think, really align on that front. And this was the entire movie. It was so fun. But essentially, it's the story of Syra, who is a princess of
the eponymous lesbian space.
The lesbian space princess.
Yeah.
Kind of exactly what it says on the tin. She's a lesbian. She's in space. She's also a princess. She's also very sad. I'm sold.
She's half Indian.
That as well. And essentially, she lives on a utopian, queertopian planet with gay mum. Her mums are gay queens, and everything is amazing, or it should be, except for the fact that she has real deep-seated self-hatred and anxiety. It turns out sometimes our mental illnesses aren't just because of homophobia. Sometimes we're just innately broken. Oh no, I wonder if this movie is going to be trying to correct this for her.
Sometimes it's our queer mother. Can I just give a shout out very quickly to both Georgian Raskopoulos and Madeline Sammy, who play the parents. Such great casting and really silly. Just every single line is silly as fuck. Like there's it's not at this point in the movie, but at one point Syra is having a flashback to wanting to, I think, like play with her mums, and the mums are like, we can't right now, we're going to a royal orgy. And it's like loads of that kind of these are like toxic self-centered parents, and it's actually the parents that have damaged Syra in the end. Spoiler. But we're introduced through like a scrapbook, like a classic introduction to characters, actually, where Syra is going through the scrapbook of her current girlfriend, Kiki, who is like a cool bad boy bounty hunter kind of vibes, and they've been dating for 2 months?
2 weeks, baby.
It's 2 weeks. I forgot that these were lesbians.
Yes. You're welcome.
And Syra asks Kiki, do you want to go to the lesbian ball with me? The Clitopolis ball? They live in Clitopolis, by the way, which is notoriously difficult to find. And Kiki says, no, I can't believe I've lasted this long with you. And then we pan out, and it turns out that this whole exchange has been happening on a chat show where her parents are the hosts of the chat show. And then Syra is expected to summon her Labrise.
Yep.
Are we going to okay, so this is the energy of the movie. It is like weird thing after weird thing after weird thing. There's a dancing vagina on stage as well for some reason. But the royals in this universe, in the universe of Clitopolis, they are able to summon a Labrise, which is like a battle axe that we are given the background of when the characters read from
the Wikipedia screen grab.
Well, it's pronounced Wikipedia.
Wikipedia screen group.
Screen group. Wikipedia, the Wikipedia screen group, where do you want to give, as the lesbian, do you want to give the context of what a Labrise is and the symbol of the Labrise?
It's a double-headed battle axe, and it's gay. You're welcome.
You don't want to do the whole, like, it was created as, like, part of the lesbian flag?
Yeah.
No? Okay.
Yeah, that was... Yeah,
Sorry, I thought that Rowan Ellis was on the call with me today.
No, sorry, I'm actually a silly little guy now. This is a comedy movie, and I'm a silly little guy now.
Fair.
I already did my thing about the history of queer cartoons. What more do you want from me?
Yeah.
Bless her.
Fair.
She just wants to summon her special magical weapon, but she can't.
Out of her vagina, by the way, which is where
because she's depresso espresso.
Espresso. And she disappoints everybody by not being able to summon her Labrise. Very
on her 23rd
sad.
Birthday.
Oh, is she 23?
She's 23. I wrote down
and still single.
Syra's 23, so I'm going to assume that's what that meant in my notes.
Oh yeah, I also wrote it's her birthday, 22, and I crossed that out because that's how old her parents thought she was.
And you put
and she went, I'm actually 23.
There we go. Excellent note taking from both of us. Meanwhile,
yeah, I think we did well.
Meanwhile, ex-Kiki, the Destroyer bounty hunter, kind of a dick, is having cool lesbian space adventures.
She's a dick, but she's a dick, but she's hot.
That kind of is what that's kind of what draws Syra to her. I'm not gonna lie. But there is a kidnap. There's a kidnap happening.
Yeah, she has 4 lesbians in the bed with her.
And
they all get killed.
Even they can't defend her. She's a murder. It's a murder kidnap gang. Because the evil villains of our piece have been introduced. It's the straight white Malians. Dun, dun, dun.
Can I have a moment to gush about the straight white Malians?
I love them
on
so
a couple
much.
of fronts. I just want these boys. I'm so happy for their arc.
So
that they
am
end
I.
up having. I think that these are some of the funniest characters I've ever written in the history of cinema. I don't
love
think
them
I even
so
mean
much.
that ironically.
They're the worst. They're the worst, and I love them.
The worst human beings. They're so wonderful. Like they go through and describe how to play Magic: The Gathering, and I've never been more triggered from hanging out with straight men. They're also their character design is they're basically a rectangle because they're straight and they're white, and then some of them have facial hair because they're male.
Wow,
amazing. And also what I'm choosing to interpret is that the world of Lesbian Space Princess is our future, because the straight white Malians talk about at a time when they were in charge of everything and they're no longer in charge of everything. And so I like to think that this is actually like centuries in the future. This is the world that we live in. I
did, as friends of the podcast will know, directed a comedy show in Edinburgh for Edinburgh Fringe this summer, and we, as I guess everyone, shared a dressing room with so many Australians. The Australians love to do Edinburgh Fringe, and they love to clown. Australia's overrun with clowns, I fear.
Look at their parliament.
It's actually serious, Jazza, please. There's so many clowns in Australia. They love to come to Edinburgh Fringe. And what it means is I have had these exact like bit-related conversations, like fake joke improv, but it's just a conversation you're having with Australian comedians so much over the month of August this summer. And I was like, this movie is making me miss being in that dressing room. Because it's like, it was like, this conversation could have been a bit like every conversation that the straight white Malians had felt like a bit conversation I'd had with these Australian comedians, like in Scotland. It was delightful. It was so good. It was just these 3 silly little guys, silly little rectangles doing bits.
3 little guys.
I really want to talk to the filmmakers because I want to know how much improv was going on within this script, especially those characters, but kind of all the characters. I'm really interested to know how much of it was fully scripted versus
I think problematic ship
or...
as well is probably quite. I would expect some improv to have been influential in that as well, which I love.
Really enjoyed.
But our straight white Malians, they're trying. They've been in exile in their man cave, and they're trying to get chicks because they're lonely. Actually, it's the male loneliness epidemic.
And do you know what can fix it? Chicks.
Chick
girls,
magnets.
Ladies.
And so they bought a chick magnet off of the internet, but it turns out it attracted the wrong kind of chicks. It attracted chickens. And so they have a magnet covered in chickens. And then they bought an actual chick magnet from Sweden, I believe. They assembled it from Sweden, flat pack. And that, the annoying thing is that needs specifically Princess Syra's Labrise as a battery in order to be able to function. Oh my god, what have they done? So in order to get Syra's Labrise, they have kidnapped Syra's ex, Kiki, so that my friend Labrise can turn up, so that Syra can turn up with her Labrise, and then they can take the Labrise and use it to use the chick magnet. It makes perfect sense.
Flawless logic from the boys.
So they send a hostage video to Syra, and they have 24 hours to get the Labrise. Syra's like, yeah, no problem. she can't summon her Labrie. She doesn't know what to do, so she goes on Reddit and finds a comment on Reddit.
As we all do when we're trying to summon our ancestral battle axe.
I mean, that's what I did.
That's what I did.
And she finds a post by someone called Blade, who is voiced by the absolutely amazing Kween Kong, by the way, a drag queen from Pacific drag queen from New Zealand and Australia, who runs a club called S Club 17, I guess to avoid copyright infringement.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad they made it to Australia.
S Club 7?
Yeah.
Well, they made it over here into the US as well. I went to see them live last year.
Because I kind of in my head assumed it.
But
they're
S Club. They're just S Club
a...
now because one of them died and the other one hates the rest of the band.
Okay, well,
but the racist one is still there.
Okay, well that's great. I was really anticipating. See, now I don't care as much about S Club 7 as I did 30 seconds ago. I was just sort of like, I kind of assumed they were just like a British thing who had never, like, they'd never really gone anywhere.
No, that TV show that they did. Do you remember when they went to Miami?
They were pretending to be in Miami. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
apparently they were actually
17.
in Miami, were they not?
What? They didn't.
What?
They didn't like film it in Bangor or something.
Film that in Bangor, in Bournemouth. May as well.
Iconic. Shit. There we go.
Well, Syra now goes on an adventure. Her adventure is to get to Kiki and save Kiki. Well, go to the S Club 17, figure out how to summon her battle axe, and then rescue Kiki. So she goes to the ship dock, finds an amazing ship that looks really lovely, but is scared by security, and then rolls into the problematic ship, who is also the best character, I think.
Yeah, you love a villain, is what I'm getting from this. You love a straight white man.
I think I just have oh my god, am I turning MAGA? Like, I hated Heated Rivalry, I don't like bouldering, and I love all of the straight male characters in this movie.
Can't believe you're the problematic ship.
Oh.
Oh no. Yeah, basically the ship is exactly as exactly what it says on the tin, but wants to escape from the hellhole that is Lesbian Planet, and so takes Syra through straight space.
Notoriously hard to find.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Takes Syra through straight space, which included, I think, a planet where Space Ed Sheeran was just hanging out, which was kind of fun.
Oh my! And sorry, this is going to be such a long episode, but we do need to pause on all of this because this like 5 to 10 minutes of Syra first interacting with the problematic ship are just an absolute assault on dumb one-liners that brought me so much joy. Some one-liners that
please.
I have written down for you.
Yes, love that.
The problematic ship obviously asks Syra, who is darker skinned, so where are you from? No, where are you really from? And eventually she goes, well, I'm half Clitopolitan and half Indian. And then he pauses for a second and goes, namaste. She's telling him where she's going. He said, I need to summon my Labrie. And he goes, I know, yes. I know all about that part of the vagina.
Yep, a classic.
Syra says, I need to I need to find my girlfriend and save my girlfriend. And then he insists on just calling her her friend.
Oh, you're looking for your friend?
No, when they're driving around in space, he goes, no one actually, they're crashing into another car. And he goes, nobody actually goes the speed limit, poofter, which is a slur that I haven't heard in such a long time that I just found it funny.
You were like, oh, fun, vintage. And she's like, I don't think you can say
vintage
that.
slur.
I don't think you can say that anymore.
And something else, this is a little bit further down the line when they meet Willow, who's non-binary. Syra corrects the problematic ship and who is using she for them, and then Syra goes they, and the problematic ship goes, what? There's more than one of them? Amazing.
Just the silliest little guy. We love to hate the problematic ship.
So dumb. But they leave the gay bubble, which don't we all live in a gay bubble? Mm-mm. Oh my god, so deep. And the gay bubble is obviously sentient, and it goes, oh, why do you want to go out there? It's dangerous. The problematic ship goes, danger is my middle name. The bubble pauses for a second and goes, ew, how did you even get in here? You can definitely leave. And then just opens up and left. Oh, and the bubble says, space is a vacuum, but nothing sucks like me. I just want to read the full script of this movie to you.
Basically, just read this. Yeah, why are we talking? We could just play the movie.
Actually, hey, if the directors are listening, please, can you send us a script? Like, I just want the script.
I kind of want to do. Part of me's like, you know, when people do like for their birthdays, like a table read with their friends.
Yes.
Like, maybe I just do a table read of this with my shit. Suddenly,
hey,
that's
my
actually the
birthday's
best thing
in
I've
May.
ever.
If you can send that before
there we
then,
go. We got to make it happen. I need to fly to New York to make that happen.
Absolutely.
Anyway, yes. So they end up going on a little voyage together through space, trying to find Blade. And the first thing that happens is they run out of the special moon crystal that allows you to fly in space. Don't question it. And they crash land onto a moon, which is where crystals are, so that's at least some little bit of luck. And they're essentially, at this point, we are getting the beginning of Syra starting to be a little brave baby, trying to be brave, trying to be so brave, and being like, hey, maybe I could go outside and try and get us some crystals from this. I mean, like, how dangerous could it be? Hard cut to 100 skeletons on this moon.
Amazing.
So like, this is another like opportunity for a dumb joke. There's just a little tumbleweed who's sentient on this planet. It's like 2 seconds. It just like circles around. It's like, hello. Syra falls in a hole. We never see the tumbleweed again, but the tumbleweed, as Syra falls in the hole, just goes, oh, well, make a friend, lose a friend. And then just rolls away. It's just the stupidest bit.
It's a like, good attitude.
Yeah, it's like every single moment. It feels like every single moment while they were working on this film, they were like,
how can we pack something else dumb in this?
There could be something else dumb here. Like, why have her just fall down a hole and we can have her interact with a sentient tumbleweed before she falls down the hole? It's a question that I'm so glad that they asked themselves. But we fall down into the hole, and who should arrive in the hole cave but the new goth love interest?
Our resident manic pixie dream girl, Willow, who is played by Gemma Chua Tran.
Not a girl.
Of course, manic pixie dream non-binary. And came here. So Willow came here to write their solo album, but then fell down a hole, so couldn't finish their solo album. And Syra is initially like very scared of them, and like finds out that Willow is actually fine. Syra steals the crystal. Some pink goo then starts like enveloping Syra, and Willow's toxic positivity keeps the goo at bay, but it's all in the negativity that Syra is feeling is like smothering Syra and trying to kill her. And then eventually Willow's positivity lets them break free, get to the surface, and find that there was a crystal next to the ship the whole time.
Ship all along. I really enjoyed. So there's a few really cute little like ukulele songs that are sort of in the background.
The soundtrack of this movie is a great.
It's
listen,
really cute, but they again use it as a fun opportunity for a joke, because before we see Willow, when Syra's fallen down the hole, sees this crystal and it's like, oh, perfect, a crystal. And there's like a little song in the background that's like, it's a crystal, like a little crystal. It's really cute.
Yeah. And
then when Willow emerges from the darkness and Syra's like, oh my God. And Willow's like, oh, sorry, I thought you could hear me singing that Moon Crystal song just now. And I just love stupid little like bits like that where you play around with the fun, like expectations are so good. And it means that we have both the sort of like, is it diegetic? Is that how the non-diegetic? I don't know, whatever the fancy word is for like music that's in the scene versus music
but what do you mean?
Over the top of the scene. I enjoyed it very much. Also very sad that Willow's just like, hey, all you gotta do is say one single good thing about yourself. That's all you gotta do, baby girl. And Syra's like, okay, I can do that. Has a real hard think and can't do that. Just can't think of a single good thing to say. And I felt that real hard. So what a good positive message that we're going to come out at the end of this movie, when we know maybe at the end Syra will have at least one good thing to say about herself. But more importantly, when they go up and the crystal is right next to the ship starts blushing when it realizes that it didn't see the crystal that was right in front of it. And I thought the ship blushing was fun.
The ship blushing is very cute. So they continue on their way to S Club 17, and Willow's like, well, give me something. Let's find out something that you're good at. Syra says, well, I do magic, because of course Syra does magic. Syra is very
close
magician.
up close. This is in a world in which you like magically summon your like ancestral weaponry, but the magic is close up magic, sleight of hand magic.
Yeah, it's sleight of hand magic. It's also why she's really good at in bed, is because of the sleight of hand. And whenever this scene, I've watched this movie like 4 times now. Whenever this scene comes on, I watch it at least more than once.
I laughed so hard during this scene.
It's so adorable.
I almost threw up. I was like gag. I was gagged, as they say, but like literally I was gagging. It was so dumb, because all it is Syra doing this magic trick really confidently. While Willow freaks out about how, like, completely loses their mind about how incredible this magic trick is. And then Syra's just like, does it again. It's like, hey, one more time. Here's your card. Put it in the middle. Whoa, it floats up. And does the showman thing of being like, your card it's magic. It's the only helium card in the whole of the deck. So when I click my fingers, it floats to the top of the deck. Like, I cannot explain why it's so funny, but I was like genuinely thought I was going to die. It was so good.
It was so good. And Willow's response to it as well is like so sincere. Like, it's wonderful.
It's so good.
It made me almost like magic. So they fly through the rest of the galaxy. And they arrive at S Club 17, and someone immediately lands on their windshield and does a line of coke.
That's the kind of energy that we're coming with here.
That's the energy.
Oh, I also want to say we missed out the line that you did do like a reference to earlier, which was the what did you guys think about the sex scene in Blue is the warmest color, which is a thing that the problematic ship says like after this amazing moment with the magic trick, just out of nowhere, which also cracked me up. But I think that was a real moment of like, oh, straight people would never get this movie. Straight people, I fear, would not understand 90% of the references in this film. It's simply not for them. I feel like if I said that joke to, like, I don't know, my parents, to like random person, old co-worker or whatever, they truly would be like, huh. What and what did you think of the scene in? Oh, and that's a movie. Oh, I remember. I watched that movie. I like that movie. Like, just truly would never get it. So big that I feel like is a measure of like the queerness of the movie. I guess of this film is how unashamedly sort of in jokey so much of the comedy was, which I appreciated deeply. So they arrive at S Club 17. They see Blade in the VIP, and they somehow Willow and Syra miscommunicate. Syra thinks that they need to get a pineapple and go into the air vents. We'll find out what happens with that later. She gets a pineapple and goes into the air vents. And Syra initially tries to go up to the VIP to talk to her, to Blade, but ends up having a depressive episode and goes into the toilets, where she's then confronted by a straight woman. This is, may I remind you, straight space, so that is where they live. Yeah, there are straight people here. This is also one of my favourite scenes. Yes. This girl is like, what's his name? Ryan. Fucking Ryan. We need to talk about Ryan. And he's just like, he doesn't appreciate her. And Syra starts giving advice, like she's crying and like flooding the whole restroom.
And so I was like, you shouldn't let him feel that terrible. Why do you tolerate that so much? And she said, I just can't believe that he likes me. And Syra then does the thing where it's like, well, what are some things that you're good at? And she goes, I'm really good at listening to him talk about video games. Like, I don't really know what
he just seems to really
about
like
AK-47s, and I don't really know what those are. And I'm also really good at shoplifting. And so just kind of like looks at this woman and is like, well, it sounds like he doesn't really appreciate how great you are. And she's like, oh my God, thank you so much.
Sarah, you need to pick up what she's putting down. You really need to pick it up because you're literally, this is you. Literally. I'm like, don't make that weird face about the fact you're swimming in this woman's tears, because everyone has been swimming in your tears for the last 20 years right there. You need to lock in. You need to like go back in your mind palace. You need to remember how you said these exact things about Kiki, and you need to buck the fuck up, which is exactly what happened.
Buck it up.
Pep talk, let's go.
Buck it up. So Syra now has confidence. Goes up to Blade. Blade takes Syra to a boudoir and starts talking about how they were never accepted by their parents. So Blade's parents were psychologists, but they never let Blade pursue her passion. And Syra goes, what was your passion? Drag? And Blade goes, weapons.
They loved the drag, but they hated the weapons.
They loved the drag. They hated
and
the
then
weapons.
goes, don't call your kid Blade and expect them to not be into blades. Am I right? You're like, you know what?
Right, exactly.
Fair enough.
And so because she has a background in psychology, Blade is able to guide Syra through a meditation where she's able to confront what her actual problem is, which is her parents.
Her
mummy's issues.
Mm-hmm.
And so we tackle that, and then the Librise is summoned from a portal of light that comes out of her vagina.
As it should.
Well, we all knew that was going to happen. And then Blade steals it, tries to kill Syra. Willow then turns up out of an air vent with a pineapple. And Blade and Syra battle Librise to pineapple. Mm-hmm. Well, because Blade is obsessed with weapons and wanted the Librise in her collection. Yeah, just in case that wasn't clear.
Blade was evil the whole time.
And then Syra, yes. And then Syra decapitates Blade.
Yeah, that's it. And she's extremely kind of okay with this. We sort of, this is a world in which, you know what? If her whole deal is she has to summon an ancestral weapon, yeah, she's probably not that. She probably doesn't care that much about the beheading people thing. Like, that feels like it's kind of just how life is.
Syra and Willow then go back to the ship. They turn on incognito mode and then hook up. They have sex. We assume. We think.
Now it's part 3.
Oh, it is part 3.
That I called the pee hole and its aftermath. Anyway, so listen, if you friends of the pod, you'll know that every single queer movie has a party in its aftermath. And what I've done here is I've replaced party with the word pee hole. Why did I do that? Well, because at one point they have to go through a pee hole. Thank you. I'll be taking no questions at this time. So they have 5 hours left until Kiki's gonna die.
And all this time we've been cutting back to the straight white aliens, and they've been doing stuff like putting on a seminar because one of them managed to get.
It's so dark in this room right now. Jesus, the sun is sorry. I'm so sorry. It's like 4:30 here. The sun has gone down, and I've just looked at myself in this mirror. This phone. It's
mirror?
Like pitch black.
In this magical mirror that captures my soul.
Pixelated mirror. It's so dark. I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm just slowly getting plunged more and more into darkness. But we'll just say that that's like a narrative choice.
That's what we'll do. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so the straight white aliens have been putting on a seminar because one of them once got the number of a girl, but the number they couldn't get through to, and so that was definitely the phone companies playing silly buggers.
It was.
And I love them so much.
They basically every time we flash back, they're just giving each other seminars on how to hook up with girls, and Kiki is spending the entire time being like, These fucking idiots.
This is hilarious.
There's like a bit in this scene where this particular like flashback to them scene where he's talking about how hard it is to not be a lesbian of color in this world, and he says, everything it's you true. Do, I've got to do backwards in flat shoes.
Backwards in flats.
So good. It's so stupid. So stupid.
You've got the support of heels.
You've got some... such a stupid
and then they decide kill the lesbian. And then a Shakespeare character drops down, suspended over like the corrosive goo, and then is dropped in the goo, and he's like, oh my god, I'm dying a terrible death. And he goes, no, not the thespian, the lesbian. And then a whole dialogue.
There's a whole extended bit about thespian lesbian.
Where, well, every lesbian in the L Word was a thespian.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
You can be both. Lesbians.
Lesbians, hilarious. But Kiki is able to, instead of getting murdered, she's able to convince the straight white Malians that only she is going to be able to convince Syra to hand over the Labrise for the chip magnet. And so they reduce the time, like, oh, you've got an hour to get back. They call up Syra. Syra is there post-coitally with Willow. And they end up, Syra's there like, oh, Willow's nobody. Oh, this is my ex. No, Kiki's. Oh, like, and dismisses Willow basically. And this is the last that we see of Willow. Willow
until
leaves.
The post-credit sequences.
Yes.
That's it. I really thought this was going to be a, and then in the end of the third act, we bring it back. No, this isn't a romance. This is a story about Syra and her personal journey. So Willow is fully like, oh yeah, we can open this relationship up. And Syra's like, no, I think we should just be friends actually. And
yeah, sorry, I just got really excited because you're like someone who actually likes me.
Yeah,
I got
like,
a bit carried away.
I think you're the first proper friend I've ever had. Anyway, and I think the Willow's like, okay, that's great. Don't actually want to be friends. Fully wanted to be girlfriends. So I actually fuck you. I'm out. Peace. And then went off to, I guess, finish their solo album. A hit.
I guess.
Spoiler alert.
Which is now available on Spotify, I believe.
Get it in all good.
I think you can listen to the album. So we're gonna have to speed run to the end.
I'm so sorry.
Here.
Yes. Anyway, go.
So we link up with the ship again. We turn the ship's incognito mode back on, and the ship is like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you're asking me if I want to go to the darkest, most dangerous place in the universe." And they go to the darkest, most dangerous place in the universe, and it is defended by like a Dalek penis that shoots cum.
Yep.
And in order to defeat the Dalek penis that shoots cum, they fly into the pee hole.
Thank you.
And then driving the Dalek penis is an actual penis and balls, which made me really uncomfortable. I know that that's what it looks like, but I don't need it to be animated.
I don't need to acknowledge it, actually.
Yeah, I like the impression that I have of what a penis is, and it's very not like soft and vulnerable like that. Do you know what I mean? Like I felt. You're
basically that's you being like, yeah. Every time I see a penis, they're hard. For me, I've never seen something like life. We get it. You got a boyfriend anyway.
It just made me.
Oh no, Ichabod. There is a cat, but it's on the wrong side of everything, and instead he's looking at me like he wants to just do the thing he does where he takes his paw and he just closes the laptop screen. So if I suddenly disappear, that's what happens.
It just fades to black, and it's like I have to do.
He is a straight white Malian, that one. Anyway, yeah, they kind of but truly Syra has like the most anticlimactic entrance ever into this cave, because in the background,
yes, oh my god, it's so funny. I love the straight white Malians so much.
They're still just talking about the thespian lesbian thing, and there's just this one throwaway line that he did a one-man show of the Book of Mormon, which in itself is one of the funniest things I've ever contemplated in my life, because if you know anything about it, just in general, that's funny, but if you know anything about that musical, it becomes even more stupid and funny, the idea that one guy is going to do that whole thing. Anyway.
Amazing.
Kiki, they're reunited. Kiki's free. What could possibly go wrong? Everything's fine.
Well, Kiki
we
doesn't
can
want
go
to
the
be,
lesbian
Kiki's just
ball
out.
together.
Well, no, she doesn't want to go.
No, doesn't want to go.
And so Kiki just leaves, and then Syra battles the straight white Malians, but they get their hands on the Labrise, and they put it in the chick magnet.
No!
And the chick magnet works too well because it summons the nearest chick, a woman.
Thank you, ally.
She flies, and she flies at such velocity towards the magnet that when she arrives at the magnet, she explodes and her guts go everywhere.
Yes.
And so then they battle. These straight white Malians are just here, like, covered in their own blood, bleeding out. Syra realizes that she needs to love herself, and so now she's actually able to summon the Labrise at will. She has a magical girl moment.
And she tells them
she
that.
explains,
She tells them that. And in a really generous way. She really says to them, like, all the chick magnets in the world are not going to help you if you don't, these women are not going to love you if you don't love yourself first. And they sort of dismiss and reject this entirely until approximately 5 seconds later, when one of them says, all the chick magnets in the world won't help us if we don't even love ourselves.
Love ourselves. And what it really needed was a man to say it.
Was a man to say that, yes. And then she's like, well, it's kind of a shame you can't just date each other. Hey, they solved the problem with polyamory.
Homosexuality.
And the problem wasn't even a love triangle. Normally people are like, what can we solve with polyamory? A love triangle? That even wasn't that, and it still solved it. Incredible work. Thumbs up.
Truly phenomenal. And them beginning to kiss. So the three straight white Malians kiss. They do a three-way kiss.
They do a three-way kiss, yeah.
Two of them start kissing, and then this other one, they like open up and go, "Hey, come here." And the guy goes,
I just say as well, I haven't acknowledged yet, but your occasional Australian twang accent that you've been doing throughout this podcast, chef's kiss, incredible work.
Thank you so much.
We'll make sure to credit the dialect coach. Yeah, in the credits of the pod.
My dialect coach is many episodes of Kath and Kim. That is what and like they go into the video kiss, and one of them goes, "Oh yeah," and then the kissing sound effects are just, "Oh yeah, oh yeah," and they're like grabbing each other's asses, and it kills me every time. It's so funny.
Just to remind everyone, these are rectangles. These are 2D.
These are rectangles with arms,
paper white rectangles,
and facial hair.
The ship has been a real ally throughout this all, because Syra leaves and the ship is still there and has been keeping Kiki out of it. It's like, you don't get to, I'm not going to leave without Syra. And I'm like, damn, it turns out ships can learn. People can ships can change.
Ships can change. Which I think is why the ship is my favourite character. He's got he's the one with the best arc, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Sorry, Syra. Forget you. The ship really is the one putting in the work.
Yeah. And then it ends.
And then the end credits, we find out that Syra's gone off on her own with the ship on her own adventures, and the ship has like an ally sticker and a he/him sticker on his little butt. It's so cute.
I love so much. And I really like that she ends up like going off not with Willow as well.
Just like on her own, just doing her own thing.
That's the movie.
That's it. That's the movie. And producer Nim has arrived at my house in between this happening. Wow.
Oh, excellent.
Who we saw on previous episode. If you haven't checked that out, check it out. Previous guest episode with Nim. We're so close to being finished, and I promise, it's so dark in here. It's so dark. I have one bulb lighting this room. It's so sad. This is really giving...
A singular bulb.
Well, yeah, this is giving the worst of both worlds.
You call yourself a YouTuber. Where's your box light?
Well, it's giving the worst of both worlds because it's like it is big light, not little light, which obviously a lot of gays hate big light. I normally like big light, but the big light is also
You like
bad.
big light?
The big light is
with
small.
this and bouldering, Rowan, I think that we need to revisit some of your hobbies.
I don't understand the bouldering is straight agenda that you have today. I don't understand it. Anyway,
it just is.
So now we've reached the end of the movie, which means that we have to give it our patent pending score out of 6. Why do we score it out of 6, you ask? Well, because the rainbow flag, the pride flag, the OG, sort of, it used to have... Anyway, it's got 6 stripes. And each of the colours... How many times have we done this? Hundreds. And each of them, there's a different colour. And each of the colours stand for something. They're symbolic. So red for life, orange for healing, yellow for sunlight, green for nature, blue for harmony, purple for spirit. Booyah. So we choose how many out of the 6 and then which 6 of the 6 we're going to give it. Jazza, how many out of 6 are you giving Lesbian Space Princess?
This is a perfect movie. This gets 6 bars.
Yeah, correct.
And the thing that really pushes it over the edge of it being a perfect movie is the fact that it is 90 minutes long exactly. That is
the number one thing that makes a movie perfect, I fear.
Actually, I think I genuinely believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah, only the Lord of the Rings is allowed to be longer than 90 minutes.
That's so
I think
correct.
I truly believe that.
I agree on both counts, on the 90 minutes thing and the 6 stripes thing. I'm going to say right now, any single person who was involved in the making of this, I beg of you, come and be a guest on this podcast.
Please, we will talk about anything with you. We love this so much.
We love this movie so much.
Like we want a script. We want please write us into the sequel.
We want everything.
Yeah, I can do an Australian accent, as you've found out, and so I can.
So together, we have every kind of Australian and non-Australian accent you could possibly want. In that Jazza can do it, and I cannot. And that's
see
talent.
Yin and yang. Yin and yang.
It.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Well, thank you, everyone. That's our pitch.
That's it.
For our next job. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed these episodes, we ask that you consider supporting us on Patreon. As a patron, you can join our Queer Movie Club, where we do watch-alongs in our Discord each month. We watched Scrooge and what was it called?
Marley and Scrooge.
A
gay Christmas movie.
Awful gay Christmas Carol
it was
movie.
so bad, but it was so bad it was good. And it was so delightful to watch it with a bunch of other queer people who were also ripping the shit out of it in a loving way. It was chef's kiss.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
We've also watched pretty much all of the classics and the like amazing and the perfect literary cinematic classics. But then sometimes we just watch terrible queer movies, and that is the podcast. That's literally what we say at the beginning of the podcast, and we live by that. Also, I guess if you on Patreon, you get to see that video of me bouldering, because I promised that and I always deliver.
Thank you to Jennifer and Margarita for supporting us on the highest tier on Patreon. You, along with the rest of our supporters on Patreon and in the Discord, help us to keep this podcast going. We do really need you. Consider donating. Make sure you follow and subscribe to the podcast so that you are notified of our next episode. We have been Jazza, John and Rowan Ellis. That's been Hermes. Hermes!
The cats are not here. But they, in spirit, Ichabod and Cephas. That's Ichabod and Sephi.
He's pretending to be asleep.
What a diva.
Thank you so much, my darlings.
Anyway, bye.